Welcome. Today's topic is safety, and I will relate that to the practice of flexion and some forms of arm balancing. Safety is very important, especially when it comes to asanas, because you don't want to be hurt, you don't want to get injured. The moment you get injured, even after you heal, the mind remembers the trauma and the experience is so bad that when you're faced again with the same element you were doing before you got hurt, the mind suddenly backs off and you lose it. Yeah? It could hurt your motivation, or it could even stop your practice altogether. So safety, very important. And there are some forms of asanas where injuries could potentially happen easily. Yeah? And one of them are positions where we flex the spine, forward bends. Yes, this is interesting. Yeah, a simple sitting forward bends like this. Yeah, if you do that element without care and without you understanding the relationship of your structure with the breath and the movement, it could easily hurt the lower back, because as you fall forward, the lower back is the least supported. Another would be jumping, especially jump throughs. Yeah, or preparing for some active ones. Not only that the external structure is at risk, you might break your toes, or you might crash as you jump through. The most serious part of jumping through is actually the health of your low back, because as you jump through, the low back just suddenly do it so quick that if you are not aware of the structure of your hips and how the hips together with the rest of your spine and the breath move together, when you jump, it could put tremendous pressure into your lower back region. So you have to be very careful of them as well. But we will not be going through the jump throughs. I will be zeroing in on how we could organically develop that core strength without us contracting the muscles, and how do we actually able to understand the relationship of the external structure, which includes the thighs and the arms, together with what's happening inside the body, to be able for us to keep the lower back and the hips as neutrally aligned as possible without them overworking as we do elements of flexion. Alright, so there's one asana which actually is very helpful, and that is the Lolasana, or the pendulum pose. Alright, it's easy to learn. The setup is simple, and the action is actually inherent, because we're inherently given that ability to fold forward. But we're going to approach this from the perspective of breath, alignment, but most importantly, how they all relate to the movement itself. Alright, so we won't be approaching this from the perspective of strength and power, because everyone can just push away, especially if you're strong in the upper back, you can just push. But the question is, are you doing it really light and supported as required in that particular asana or element? Alright, so the Lolasana. Yeah. So the knees here, or the thighs here, the rest of your legs are hugging towards the center line. You don't squeeze them, just gently close them. Yeah. Now, important concept number one here would be you need to be able to allow your hips, and the thighs together with the lower spine to fold together as one. All right. So this is tricky because it's easy to fold forward, but when you fold forward, you don't want your back or your spine to be rounding. Neither you don't want your spine to be pushing forward like that. So it's more of you just folding the spine without you overstretching the lower spine, and without you fighting the spine forward either. So the spine forms like this nice long dome shape to the backs of the body. So it's the structure is like the spine goes to a long but soft curve. It's not rigid to the front, neither too close. Alright, so a good way for you to actually develop that awareness and skill is to understand the breath and how the breath relates first to the fronts of the body and then second to the backs of the body. Yeah, because you have to make room for the spine to lengthen forward or to elongate forward even if you are folding or flexing the structure. All right. So number one would be the exhalation. All right. So inherently when you fold forward, it's the exhale because you're closing the spine. Yeah, you're going back to the pull of gravity. So, but when you exhale, you don't want to be collapsing the spine that it rounds like this. You don't want this. So rather, as you exhale, you're gonna feel the fronts of the body hollow, yeah, and the elements of the fronts of the body will move towards the back. Yeah, so it creates that nice dome shape of your upper back, like that, as opposed to like this, or as opposed to rounded. So it surrenders naturally forward. Right. So what happens in the front of the body, yeah, if I may, the ribs will gently hug in. Yeah, remember, hug, you don't squeeze. Exhale, empty. You can actually do it as I explained. When you press your, or place your hands to your ribs and you exhale, you can feel the spaces between the bones of the ribs hollow. Right, so that's one. Yeah, but as you do this, the inherent or the tendency of the spine is to close and to round. This, all right, so you don't want that. So as you exhale, yeah, you're gonna slide the muscles of the belly towards the backs of the body, and you're gonna fold them up. Yeah, inside and behind the bones of the ribs, like you are folding them towards the back and to the backs of the ribs, not to the front. Yeah, towards the back. And you pull the space thin. Yeah? So structurally, when you fold forward, yeah, exhale, it goes hollow, but it lengthens to the front plane. Yeah? Like the body suspends forward together with the rest of your structure and the breath. So let's do that. Yeah? Let's do the exhalation first. Yeah? So normally, to prepare for that one, so you're sitting on a kneel position like this. Breathe in, lift just a gentle vertical extension. Exhale, place your hands beside your thighs. Alright, so the placement of the hands is dependent on the structure of the body. If you're very flexible in the low back and you can easily just fold like this, if your hips are flexible, you can place your hands beside the knees. If you feel that your lower back is a bit crunchy and you can't fold as much as that, you can just place your hands beside the thighs, yeah? Just between the knees and the hips, but not too far back. Maybe a little bit in front of the hips. So it really depends on the structure. Find your own measurement. Alright, so let's repeat that. Yeah? Breathe in, exhale, close forward but shift. And then there the lower back will just go to the front. Yeah? So you don't want to be flexing this too much, neither you fight it forward. More of a neutral fold. Yeah. Alright, now the inhale. Yeah? So the mind says when you inhale, inherently inhale. Right? But no. When you fold forward, the energy continues to shift forward towards the front of your body and not bounce back. Alright, so you have to change that mindset. When you inhale, you don't want to be bouncing your structure up. Rather, when you inhale, keep shifting it forward so the hips will go light. Like you're rolling forward. So inhale. That, yeah. So if the exhalation is moving forward and down, so the inhalation is also moving forward and up. Yeah? Not up and back. Alright, so that's flexion. You have to remember that. So how do we relate that now with the asana itself? Breath and move and the structure. Right. Neutral spine. This is inhale. Now exhale. Forward and down, ribs hugging in, and then suspend the rest of the structure forward. Alright, don't fight the neck, keep the neck neutral. Alright, inhale, shift. See? Yeah. And before the inhalation finishes, that's the point where you're gonna press up. Alright, now look here. So the space that you created by bending the elbows will be the space you're gonna use to push and lift off the ground. Again, it's not bouncing up and back. Yeah, forward. Yeah, shift forward as you press. Alright, so I'll do that. Exhale, you might reposition the hands. Inhale forward and press up. See? You don't bounce it. Keep moving, shift forward. Right? Inhale here. Keep the hips close. Back to your closed hips. Forward. Inhale, gently pull the neck up, but keep the scope. Folding, inhale it. Good. And exhale, go back to your setup position. Alright, let's do that again. Yeah? Rise it up. Exhale, hands placement. Alright. You may adjust the hands. Inhale, shift. At the top of it, push. Inhale, forward. Yeah? But to release, inhale. Lower down. Exhale it. Breathing in. Fight it. Exhale and release. Alright. Now, that's how you apply it when you work on arm balancing. Yeah. Even other forms of arm balancing, for example, the Bakasana. Even in the Bakasana, the principle is the same. Alright? For example, yeah, the crow pose. Yeah. Exhale here, close it. But when you close it, you don't round it. Exhale. Yeah. Exhale. See? Now inhale, shift more. At the top of that inhale, you're gonna lift. Yeah? Inhale forward. To release, inhale, open up the neck a bit. Land your toes down. Keep them hugging in. And release your structure down. Alright. When you're sitting, the principle is the same. Yeah? Breathe up. Exhale to the front and down. Alright. Let go when you want to go deep. Inhale, open a little bit on the tops of the neck, suspend the arms forward, and exhale, lower down. Now if you want to go deep, inhale, forward, and exhale, down. Yeah, how do you release? Inhale, use the breath to guide your spine to elongate forward, but don't bounce it. Inhale it, and exhale, back to your neutral position. Right. So that's how we work on the breath when we flex forward, and how the breath will guide our body to move in a distinct way so that the pressure will not go to our lower spine, that actually when you fold forward, the lower spine and the hips, they remain neutrally open. They're not folding, they're not closing, they're not rounding, neither you fight the spine forward. So you're working now the internal dynamics of the core, which is your Bandha, especially the Uddiyana Bandha. When you work on that, it will create some external manifestations, like the fronts of the body hollow in, and the muscles of the belly will fall towards the back and up. But those are just the manifestation of the breath guiding the whole of your structure together with the movement. Alright, so always, practice safely. When we are attuned to our own structure, when we know our own structure, we become less competitive. We always focus on what's happening inside, and we feel that subtleness of the energy. And when we surrender to that innate and inherent flow of the energy, it will just lead us there with the space, lightness, ease, and support. All throughout, from the entry, holding, and exiting an asana, even in the meditation as you go along in the future. Alright, so that's our lesson for the day. Keep the practice alive. I'll see you next time for the next tutorial. Namaste.